So we figured out the number one thing we fight about is television, you know? I watch sports, she watches those Real Housewives, you know, it just doesn't work out, you know? You guys have the Real Housewives out here? You do? Yeah. It's just, I imagine it's just the most depressing fucking thing ever, isn't it? Those women, they just look so fucking exhausted, you know what I mean? They just put the war paint and the circle tits, just trying to fucking tuck it in and fucking, like an athlete at the end of their career, just trying to limp out the field one more time. They're not as fast as they used to be. It reminds you of your own mortality. It's just like, ladies, just fucking sit down, put on something flowing. I'll put on a sport coat. We'll be in bed by 8:30, right? We're fucking old, you know? Look, I'm sure that there's some feminists in the crowd right now not appreciating this joke, feeling triggered, feeling like they need to fucking put out a hashtag or some shit and be brave and speak out. You know what? You're full of shit. You are. All those feminists are full of shit. Because I'm going to tell you right now, someday there's going to be the first woman president. All right? Which means you don't even know what her fucking platform is, and you automatically cheer. It's got the same genitalia. Fucking, I'm telling you, they're not smart people. Feminists, they're not as smart as they're coming off. I'm telling you. Someday, there's gonna be. By the way, this is gonna be my last show ever. By the time this fucking thing comes out. Someday, there's gonna be the first female president, which means there's gonna be the first male first lady. Right? And you wait. You fucking wait. The first time that dude opens his mouth about some political shit, you watch all these feminists. They're on me. You shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up. It is her time now. It is her time. She was elected, not you. Go pick out some plates, bitch. You are the first lady. He's gonna get treated like Tom Arnold when he was with Roseanne. Secret Service name will be like Appendix or Doesn't Matter. Not worthy of protecting. Just entered the Oval Office. Not worthy of protecting. Hey, do you know why so many whiteys need facelifts? I love that word. I'm trying to bring it back. I love it. It's funny. Whitey! You know why? Do you know why so many Caucasians need facelifts? Because we don't know about lotion. See that? Only half of you laughed. That should have been everybody. Yeah, but a lot of you were sitting there like, well, what about lotion? What is this lotion you speak of, and what is the magic therein? Just to put it out there, you can use lotion on other parts of your body besides your dick. Yeah. If you ever wondered why your dick still looks brand new, but the rest of you is starting to look like an aging pirate, because you need to increase the circumference of the lotion distribution. All right? You got skin everywhere. Go home. Check yourself out. The bottom of your feet look like a prehistoric riverbed. That's not part of the natural aging process. You dried out. I'm not judging you. Not judging anybody. I didn't know anything about lotion. Never used it. The first 33 years of my life. Never used it. Till one night I was going out with this black girl, right? She was getting ready and she was just putting that shit on everywhere. Just slathering it on. I thought she had like a rash or something. I'm like, what do you got, like poison ivy? What's going on with you? She goes, no, I'm just making sure I'm not ashy. I said, ashy? She goes, dry skin. I went, wow. I guess I freaked her out a little bit because I was like, wow. She's like, well, white people get ashy too. I was like, yeah, you know, I don't think we do. Yeah, I've been alive for 33 years. No one has ever said, hey, Bill, you're looking a little ashy. I never even heard that word until you said it. She's like, you're an idiot. Stick out your arm. So I stick out my arm, and ever so gently, she just drags her nails down. This smoke starts coming up. There's like pastry flakes flying off, track marks. She's signing her name. She's like, you see that? She goes, that's ashy. You're ashy? Freak me out. I'm like, holy shit, I'm ashy. I didn't know anything about it. All I knew was that I always got itchy in the winter. Couldn't figure it out. Always got itchy in the winter. What the fuck do I get itchy? I thought it meant the bath towel was dirty.
That's what I thought. And I would change it out and put a fresh one. Now I'm going to be okay. Take a shower, dry off, fucking itching again. God damn it, I hate the winter. See that? That's why you got to hang out with everybody. Yeah. There's too much information in the world, and every group of people misses a little bit. White people totally missed the lotion seminar at some point in history. I don't know if it's because we can't see it. You know? Black people get ashy. It looks like they leaned up against a chalkboard or something. You know? They can see it. They miss it. Their friends help them out. Like, look at your ashy motherfucking elbow. What is wrong with you? Right? We miss that shit the way black people miss the whole register your weapons summit. Right? Just never got the information. The amount of rappers who've been busted for the unregistered Glock in the car just blows my mind. It's like, why would you do that to yourself? Do you just want to make an album over the phone? Is that what it is? Is that like the new auto-tune or some shit? I don't know. No, it breaks my heart every time I see it. I just think, God, if he just had one white friend. If he just had one white friend in his entourage, dude would have been sitting there going like, is that thing registered? You out of your mind? Dude, get it out of there. Get it out of there. Yeah, it's illegal. That's like fucking 3 to 5 mandatory. Dude, how do you not know that? That's the question. How do you not fucking know that? This guy's got an unregistered weapon in the car. Like, we're just gonna go driving around with it. It's just ridiculous. So see, there you go. All right? You don't need a facelift. Okay? Lay off the booze. Do some cardio. Moisturize. You're gonna be fine. Okay, don't believe in these myths. Black don't crack. It's bullshit. They all put lotion on like every 20 minutes during the day. It's ridiculous. They all got a giant oil drum of this shit at home. Every morning they wake up, they dump themselves in it, shake themselves off, and walk out the door absolutely glistening. Glistening! White guys like me are walking around, no hat on. Hey, let's go sailing! Keep going. Dude, it was like, I was like having like this fucking panic attack. I was thinking like, oh my God, I waited too long to get married. I had kids too late. I'm going to die soon. I was like literally like wrapping up my life, you know? So I'm walking down like 9th Avenue, you know, putting a little swish in my fucking step, just trying to get something. I was desperate. Fuck you ladies, you've been there. You know how it is. You want to think you got one more in you, you know? So I'm tra-la-la down the street. I really wish that wasn't the truth. So I'm going down 9th Avenue, and all of a sudden I looked up, and about 2 blocks away, all of a sudden I see this lesbian coming up the block, okay? Now I know this is Boulder, Colorado, right? So you guys are all like, fucking, hey man, you know? Like, how did you like know she was a lesbian, man? Like, that's not cool. You just looked at her and you just knew she was a lesbian? You don't know her. How do you just know somebody's a lesbian? Easy. The same way you do. The same way other lesbians do. It's not calculus. No, but I get it. I understand in 2021, you're not allowed to say you know what a lesbian looks like, right? Judging by your silence, yes, right? Yeah, you're not allowed, right? What's funny is some white kid came in here, like 20 years old, hair slicked back, collar popped, loafers, no socks. You'd be looking at him thinking like, all right, frat boy, date rapist, his dad's a judge, he's not going to jail. Yeah, just killed 5 people in a drinking and driving accident, already has a new Dodge Challenger on the way, right? Yeah, you're allowed to see that. That you can see, clear as day. Lesbian, I am not. No, but that's how progressive you guys are, right? You don't have any idea, right? Like, let's play a game. I'll just name different people you see and see the slides that come into your head, right? Construction worker, sports fan, painter, skateboarder, lesbian. Right? It all goes blank. Is that a lesbian? Am I a... I mean, I have gay friends, but I've never noticed any sort of a through line. Listen, people, I'm not saying all lesbians look alike. I would never say some ignorant shit like that. However, I am saying, though, every once in a while, there's a fucking layup. Right? Flat top, wallet chain, fucking walking up the street. Right? But even then, I'm not saying 100%. But gun to my head, I gotta go lesbian. Gotta go lesbian. Final answer, show me lesbian. Right? So, anyway, she's fucking walking up the street. I'm coming down, right? And it's clear to me that if we keep walking the way we're walking, we're gonna bump into each other. Now, I don't want to bump into a woman. I don't want to bump into anybody in New York. So I do the gentlemanly thing. I clock what's going on. So what I do is I just gradually shift over into my own lane. Now everything's fine, right? But then the weirdest thing happened. We walk like another 30 yards, and all of a sudden, she drifts back into my lane again. And I'm sitting there walking like, wow, that's kind of crazy. Thought I solved this problem. All right, so I fucking dip into another lane again, right? Okay, I'm walking. We go another 30 yards. She comes back into my lane again. So now, like, I'm up against the curb. So now I'm, like, thinking, like, okay, how do I do the politically correct math here? Like, what am I supposed to be doing here? Am I supposed to, like, am I supposed to step off into the bike lane and have some young kid on his electric bicycle come by, 40 miles an hour, run me over? I go down to the pavement, knees and elbows. And for the rest of my life, every time it rains, I got to think about this lesbian that walked me off the fucking block? Is that what I'm supposed to do? Am I supposed to give up the whole sidewalk? Like, oh, your gayness? Right? Or do I stiffen up my shoulder and protect my lane? Right? Now, I'm not proud of this, but I chose the latter. All right? I was like, look, I'm 53, I moved twice, I have an AARP card, I'm the fucking victim here. So I stiffen up the shoulder, and then immediately I'm thinking like, okay, this is gonna get crazy. I have never done this with a female before, this is in public, people are gonna see this shit, what's gonna happen, right? But I'm not gonna lie to you, she started closing in, she was moving, so I like leaned in, like I really got my legs underneath me because she was built like a janitor and I was not going to get spun around. I wasn't getting spun around, not having that on the fucking logbook, right? So I leaned into this shit, and at the last second, she turned her shoulder, and we just missed shoulders, but our forearms still slapped together with significant enough force that it warranted a turnaround. Okay? Now, I know most of you guys drive, so I will break down pedestrian etiquette really quickly. In New York City. This is the deal. If you're walking down the street in New York, right? You're walking, and if you just sort of brush sleeves with somebody, you don't have to stop. You can just look over your shoulder. Hey, sorry, man. My bad. Have a nice day, right? Then there's the next level. Moves up a little bit. You're walking down the street. You actually bump into somebody. You actually have to turn around. Sorry, didn't see you. Little dojo bow. My bad. Whatever you have to do, my sensei, to keep it from escalating. And then there's the last one. You're just walking down the street, and you hit so fucking hard, you got to turn around and go like old school Dustin Hoffman, De Niro. Like, hey, I'm fucking walking here. Huh? I fucking moved twice. You didn't see that? You drifted 2 times? Huh? So I turn around to have this confrontation. And let me tell you something. She never looked back. And I'm not going to lie to you. That bugged me. That bugged me for like 3 days. 3 days, I'm just walking around New York, just fucking goddamn fucking bullshit. There's no fucking way you didn't do that on purpose. Who does that? Who drifts, you know?
So we realized that, I don't know, we always fight about the television. So I'm like, well, what about documentaries? Why don't we just tape something we both like? We both love documentaries. They're fun, right? You watch them, you learn something, you repeat it at a party, people think you're real. So I tape, first one I tape is on Elvis Presley, right? Now, I love Elvis, okay? He fascinates me. He's like the first rock star with the power of television. They just intersected, and he went to he ascended to this level of fame that no one had ever been to before. Hence, he made all the mistakes because there was no one there to help him out, right? He got a piece of shit manager that stole from him. Bam! He stopped making music, started making shitty movies. He's not a good actor, right? Does that. Married a minor. started doing drugs, got fat, got an entourage, got even fatter, started wearing onesies, doing karate kicks, splitting his fucking pants. Nobody's saying shit. You look good, King. You like that? You like when my royal balls hang out? We love it, King. Keep fucking going. Starts doing pills, gets addicted. He fucking dies alone on a toilet. Right? This man kicked open all of those fucking doors for the rest of us. Right? So I sit down, and I'm watching this documentary as a white dude, which is what I am. I'm looking out my white head, watching this white shit. It's coming back into my white eyes, getting whiter by the fucking second. Right? Now, my wife, on the other hand, she's black, right? Now, I hate saying that because it makes it seem like I'm going to start doing some stupid comparison jokes. You know, those dumb white guy, black guy jokes? And it's always like the white guy's like, oh, Jesus, I gotta do my taxes. Can this chair hold me? The black guy's always like, you need to loosen up. You gotta relax, man. You just gotta let it happen. Right? It's always the same stupid fucking joke. I hate those jokes, you know, because they're easy. And it's been my experience that it's just not true. You know, 15 years of being with her, there's really no difference. You know, because at the end of the day, it's a woman. All right? It's gonna be the same fights. I don't give a fuck who you're with. I'm not gonna lie to you. There might be more head movement and hand gestures with different races of women. Possibly an index finger jabbing at your forehead, whatever the fuck that is. But at the end of the day, it's the same fights. What's going on with us? You need to work on this. Why don't we communicate better, right? So she starts watching this shit as a black person, right? And she's seeing all the racism, obviously, that I'm seeing. But she was catching all this subtle shit that I was too white to see. But I knew I was missing it because I just kept hearing her huffing and puffing. Just sitting next to me being like, ah. And I'm just sitting there like, okay, somebody did something. I don't know what just happened, but I don't think that was good. So right when I didn't think it could get any worse, it could get any more uncomfortable between the two of us, this fucking white dude comes on who evidently discovered Elvis. And he's like 190 years old, and he comes out and starts talking. He's just like, well, basically, I was looking for a white boy that could take the down and dirty, nasty blues and combine it with the pristine, angelic sounds of bluegrass. Yeah, that's what he was doing. He was subtly putting black shit down here while he was propping up the white shit. You know, the down and dirty, daddy not sticking around, drug-infested neighborhood blues with the Jesus as white as me, hair the color of the sun, angelic bluegrass playing music, right? So at this point, my wife has like fucking steam coming out of her ears. So I make a judgment call. I just fucking shut it off, right? And she looks at me. She's like, why did you shut that off? Why did you shut it off? I was like, because you're about 3 minutes away from yelling at me like I produced this music. All right? Let's just forget it. We'll watch something else. She's like, no, why can't we just watch the rest of this and then discuss it afterwards? It's like, I don't fucking do that. I just want to watch a documentary. I don't want to have a fucking lecture because of these fucking assholes. I didn't do anything. I'm just sitting there watching TV. And not to mention, we're just going to get into an argument. She's like, well, why would we get into an argument? I'm like, ugh. All right, you know why? Because not for nothing, there was some black people in there saying some shit that I didn't agree with, you know? I'm not huffing and puffing. Yeah, I said that. Like a fucking idiot. And she just looks at me, she's like what black people? Like what black people that said what? And at that point, it's like you started the luge, right? You can't get off the fucking sled. Now you gotta have the argument. I'm like, fuck, here we go. Guess we're having this. And I'm like, all right, the black guy who brought up leg shaking, saying Elvis took leg shaking from us. It's like, really? Leg shaking? No, nobody thought to fucking do this? Black people came up with that? You telling me that? I'll even give you that. Let's say you came up with that, but where did that black dude learn how to do it? Didn't he watch some older black guy do it? But what, because he's the same color? He's not stealing, he's just carrying on the tradition. But if Elvis does it, oh, what the fuck? Now he's the biggest thief ever? That doesn't make any sense to me. She goes, no, you idiot, it's not about the leg shaking, okay? It's about, he appropriated a culture. He took all the music, he got all the money, got all the fame, he's called the king of it now, and he never gave a shit, not even a shout out. And I was like, all right. Fair enough. You made about 7 or 8 good points there that I can't refute. He appropriated a culture. I get it. You're right. She goes, fine, thank you. And I go, however, not for nothing, do I get mad at you when you get on a skateboard, you start going down the fucking street? Do I get all offended like, hey, man, that's some white shit. Stop appropriating my culture, man. Some dirty white kid in Santa Monica came up with that, man. So she starts laughing. And I should have stopped there, but I'm a comedian, right? I'm like, oh, I'm getting a laugh. There's got to be a bigger laugh, so keep going, Bill. Let's come with another example. So I'm like, yeah, do I get mad at you when you fly from L.A. to New York in under 6 hours? And she just, yeah. She just stares at me. She's just like, that was fucked up. I was like, yeah, I know. It sounded good in my fucking head, and then it came out. I was just going for the laugh. And she wouldn't let up. She's like, well, why is it fucked up? Why is it fucked up? So now I'm back in the classroom. And I'm like, because if historically speaking, black people enjoyed the same amount of freedom and privilege, they would have had the money and the time to figure out how to fly too. And she goes, that's right. And I go, however, your music would have suffered. Yeah. You can't have my level of freedom and privilege walking around with that cul-de-sac. It really is going to be okay. And come up with that painful, beautiful music. You can't do that. Next thing you know, you're clapping on the fucking downbeat. You're playing a washboard, right? James Brown is line dancing. All goes out the window. So you got to make a choice. Either you learn how to fly and your music sucks. I got a dog recently. I did. I went down to the pound. I got one of those free dogs. Yeah, that's how I say it. I don't say I rescued a dog. I hate when people say that. It's like totally obnoxious. It's complete exaggeration. She's a rescue. Yeah, I rescued her. Really? Did you pull her out of a burning building? Did you jump in a river with your clothes still on with no concern for your own safety? Or did you just go down to the pound and get a free dog? Isn't that what you did? Stop acting like you had to take out a couple of guards, crawl in on your elbows, using hand signals. Dude, you ever go down to the pound? They're just giving them away. They don't even do a background check. You want him? Hey, get out of here. Who's next? You want a poodle? Come on, you got a perm. It'll be hilarious. Actually, my girlfriend got the dog when I was on the road. I was on the road, she got the dog. Classic girlfriend move, right? That's just a 10 to 15 year commitment. Why would you include me in that decision? What would I need to know? So we're Skyping. I thought she got one of those little shit dogs, you know? Like a Yorkshire Terrier or something you could punt across the room if it got out of line, right? Something you could take your day out on. You know what I'm saying? And so we're Skyping. I go, let me see it. So she pans around, and I think I'm going to see, you know, some little Chihuahua, whatever the hell those dogs are. I'm immediately staring at like this hellhound, this just massive dog, and it looks. I start freaking out. I'm like, is that a pit bull? Please tell me you didn't get a pit bull. She's like, it's not a pit bull. It's a mix. Mix with what? Another pit bull? Look at that thing. It's like it's been doing pull-ups its entire life. Its front paws were still taped up and shadow boxing. It's got a teardrop tattoo. It's a pit bull. What more do you need to see? Oh, it gets worse. Her and a friend actually didn't get it down at the pound. They found it by the Los Angeles River. Yeah, this thing was the real deal. She's sitting there going, it was out there for 10 days. Don't you think that's sad? No, it's scary. Because judging by its physique, it got plenty of protein over the last week and a half. It wasn't eating nuts and berries, all right? It was choking out joggers. It was twisting heads off of rabbits. You brought a murderer into the house. You just rescue an alligator while you're at it. Stick it under the bed. Add to the excitement. You know what's great, though? I fell in love with the dog. I absolutely love this dog, and I'm totally sold on the breed. And I know a lot of people don't like pit bulls because they ate a couple of kids. I understand that. I'm telling you, you owe it to yourself at some point in your life to walk down the street with a pit bull. You got to do it. It's tremendous. People just get out of the way. 3-4 blocks away, they see me coming. They immediately start crossing the street. I love it. I feel like a king. I don't know why black people complain about that. I love having the whole side of the street to myself. It's awesome. Yeah. Black people have no idea how difficult it is as a white man to have to walk down the street every half a block, have frivolous conversations about the weather. Oh, I think it is going to rain. Why? Why do we have to have this conversation? No, it's tremendous. I like the respect. Look at me. My whole life I've looked like Ron Howard. Do you realize that? My whole life I've been mugged repeatedly. I've never had any street cred whatsoever. The second they see this four-legged P90X body coming down the street, that's it. It's the best dog on the planet. You got to get a pit bull. I'm telling you, man. It's like a gun you can pet. Get two of them. Come down to you, just strapped. All of a sudden, there's no line at the ATM. You like it, just the whole world opens up for you.
Yeah. I don't have any sympathy for women when it comes to shit like that, because every study they've ever done to determine who's smarter, men or women, every study comes back and says women are smarter. Every fucking one. Ladies, you shouldn't be applauding that. You know I'm an asshole. You know this isn't going to end well. Did he say I'm pretty? Oh my God. Get out of the relationship. If every study says that you're smarter, okay, the question you should be asking yourself was, we're so goddamn smart, how are we in the situation we're in? Well, you're in the situation you're in not because of guys like me, as much as you want to blame me. You know, ladies, you can't tell me you never drove by a sports bar on a football Sunday and looked at the humanity in there? All those dumb guys with their big beer bellies bumping chests. Hey, he's on my fantasy team! Up top, yeah! You want to get some more mozzarella sticks? Yeah! As a woman with your bigger brain, you never looked in there and thought to yourself, I'm fucking losing to that? I'm losing to that. Yeah, there's nothing stopping you other than the fact that you guys are just into destroying each other. No, now it's going to get quiet. I see all that sneaky shit you do. Ladies, if you could just support the WNBA the way you support a fat chick that's proud of her body and is no longer a threat to you, you know, that league would be doing better numbers than the NBA. Oh my God. That's one of the saddest things I've ever seen. Oh my God, you're a goddess. You're gorgeous. You look great in that bikini. I would kill myself if I looked like that. Keep eating. Keep eating. Lose a toe, you fat bitch. It's just... You saw an alcoholic where you'd be like, oh my God, look at you. You're face down, passed out. Your kids are crying. You're a hero. You're a god. Keep doing what you're doing. You'd be like, dude, you need to get your fucking shit together. Get off the sauce. I will say, that's one of the most genius things I've ever seen. How regular-looking women somehow mind-fucked advertising to get beautiful women off of billboards. Yeah, just regular fucking who-gives-a-shit looking women, right? I'm just being honest. Come on, we're outside. We're in the woods. We can be honest. Just regular, who gives a fuck, can't remember her name, looking women, right? Well, looking at these goddesses, and they had to fucking be there. How am I supposed to compete with that? You can't. How fucking arrogant are you? I don't see Brad Pitt when he takes his shirt off in a movie and, oh, great, how am I supposed to compete with that? I can't. I am an ugly, bald, orange man. I need to write jokes. I gotta put a lampshade on my head. I know what my role is, okay? I should be on the ground gazing up at people better looking than me. I don't know, ladies. This is supposed to be like an inspirational talk. I don't know if it's coming through this way. I'm trying to say, you really like... If you get through all the misdirected anger of my childhood, I'm trying to say, you're smarter than we are, and I'm feeling this anger. It's just burning me up, and I know eventually it's going to settle in my chest, and then one more time it's going to be, I'm sorry, Dada, I'm sorry. It's like, I can't do this. I can't do this to my daughter. I can't do this to my kids. So I started reading up on anger. Like how to let go of shit, I think is what I Googled. And I found empathy. If you have empathy for somebody, you put yourself in their shoes, you can just, figure out where they're coming from, where you're coming from, you can meet in the middle. So I said, all right, here we go. Let me put myself in her shoes. What would cause somebody to accidentally drift into your lane twice? So I just started throwing shit on the wall. Oh, here we go. Did she have a club foot? No. Did she just have a stroke? Did she have Bell's palsy of her left side? Was she a mummy? Did she have a wooden leg? Is she one of those, those fucking diagonal walkers? You get behind them at the airport, they're walking too slow. You try to go around to the right. They start dragging their suitcase over there. You go over to the left. They're coming back this way. It's like they just got off a ship. And everything was just like, no, cut! Right? And I'm still mad. I'm still fucking mad. So I said, I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. Lied to myself. Said I didn't give a fuck, So then I ended up going home. And I'm home and I'm washing the dishes, which is a very Zen-like thing to do. It's like a week later. You wash dishes, you're not thinking of anything. Your brain is empty. And I'm washing the dishes, and then all of a sudden, the answer just came to me. It just floated into my head. And I just looked up. I was like, oh my God. I know why she did it. I know why she bumped into me. She bumped into me because she's a lesbian. I mean, it was right there. I was like looking 9 miles down the street, looking under shrubs. It was right in front of my face. She did it because she's a lesbian. All right, so judging by most of your silence, I will do this math for you. Come on. Let's have a little empathy here. Put yourself in a lesbian's shoes. All right? Who do lesbians date? Women. Who do they move in with? Women. Who do they get in relationships with? Women. Who do they eventually marry? Women. And I was thinking like, oh my God, I did that. I know what the fuck that's like. I know what it's like to live with one of those fucking things. I know exactly what that's. It's hopeless. Trying to make them happy. Hey, I bought you the shiny thing. Did I do it right? Huh? Trying to get them to take responsibility for their actions. Not gonna happen. The best you're gonna get is I'm sorry, but. I know what it's like to be winning a fucking argument. You're winning. And then they turn it around. They're crying. You're apologizing. You're thinking, what the fuck just happened? How am I losing this shit? I had you on the ropes. You feel so dumb, you gotta go for a walk. And you're just thinking, how did I lose again? How did I lose again? And then you figure it out. It makes you feel stupid. And then you see some bald idiot with a giant orange mustache. And you're like, you know what? Why don't you take some of that shit? You take some of that fucking anger. Yeah. I feel so stupid that I got mad at that woman. I shouldn't have got mad at her. I should have bought her a beer. And just listen to her troubles and had empathy and be like, that's not your fault. You married a woman. I did it too. You're not going to win. There's no winning this. Yeah. I'm telling you, if you don't believe me, do a little people watching. Take a look at the look on the average lesbian's face. All right? I don't mean a lesbian in her 20s. She's got a whole life ahead of her. She's got Christmas in her eyes, right? I mean a lesbian about 35, 36, starting to settle into what the deal's going to be, right? And then look across the bar, find a married guy about the same age. Look at the look on his face. Look at the look on her face. Go back to his face. It's the same fucking look. Yeah. And then look at gay guys. Some of the happiest people I've ever met in my life. They're almost too happy. It's like, hey, how's it going? They're like, hi! Almost floating across the room with that lack of estrogen just yanking down your fucking dreams. Now look, it might be a front. I'm not saying all gay guys are just blissfully happy, but it's looking like a pretty good time to me. Dude, they're some of the most positive people I've ever met in my life. Any idea you have, they support it. They're just like, yes, yes, queen, yes, you're fierce, you can do it. Lesbians are up at the bar like a bunch of jaded cops. That's all fucking bullshit. What the fuck was I thinking? U-hauling after 10 days, moving in. What the fuck was I thinking? She's crazy! No, I'm telling you. I think married men and lesbians need to start hanging out more. And we got to put our heads together and try to solve our common problem, the women in our lives, so we can somehow attain the perceived happiness of the average gay dude out there. Yeah. So, if you believe in that shit, I'll give you some advice. If you're going to expand your fucking world of friends, I'll give you some advice. You can't just hang out with any lesbian. All right? You got to make sure you're hanging out with the dude in the relationship. Right? And by dude, I'm not saying she's manly. I'm not being ignorant. By dude, I just mean she's the one that gets blamed for most of the shit. Right? Because no relationship is balanced. Somebody is getting away with more. Somebody's drafting behind the other. It's like a bike race. Somebody else is taking the fucking weather in the face. Right? Somebody else is fucking right behind. Oh yeah, it really is wet. Just kind of hiding under your fucking poncho. Male, female, 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 they, whatever the fuck it is you're into. Every relationship, there's the person that does the dishes and the person that lets them soak. Right? They don't let them soak. They know you're gonna do them. They're just waiting you out. And after a while, you can't fucking take it anymore. They're just sitting there. You gotta go out and you start doing it. And then what do? They sit in the other room and they wait like they don't know what you're doing. And they wait till they hear pots and pans. And that's when the show starts. That's when they come running in like, what? Oh, I was gonna do those. What? And you're like, no, you weren't. They've been sitting there for 8 hours. I got my hands in room temperature water with scrambled eggs floating around. Don't gaslight me. You're a fucking animal. You were raised by animals. Get out of my sight. Don't yell at me! Right? Yes. Every relationship has the person that will take the trash bag out of the trash barrel and do a little tie it off, and then leave it slumped against the counter like it took 2 behind the ear and a mob hit. And then there's the person that actually picks it up and takes it out to the curb at night and puts it in the trash can, right? My wife's hilarious, man. I love her, but she's got some of the worst excuses ever. I'm like, why don't you ever take out the trash? She goes, I would, I'm just afraid of coyotes. I'm afraid of the coyotes. It's like, so am I. So am I. They're rabid dogs. They hunt in packs of 2s and 3s. You don't do it because you don't want to do it because you know I'm going to do it. Just get the fuck away from me, please.
So, I don't know. My girl's been bugging me lately. She's ready to settle down. I think I'm ready to settle down too, you know? I got the one. I know I've been saying this shit for years. I have been, you know? She's great. The only thing I don't like is she's really into reality TV. She watches all those dumb shows, put 10 whores in the house. Somebody tries to find a wife, right? She watches fat people cry about fudgicles. Blubber in their eyes. Sometimes I don't even open the wrapper. I just start eating, and then I get down to the stick, and I know I should stop because it's made out of wood. She's just there crying right along with them. Throw yourself in the river, you fat fuck. She gets so mad at me. It's like, look, I don't put on TV to cry. I like to be entertained. I love when they fall on the treadmill and go flying into the drywall. It's like some modern-day medieval weapon. I love it. All those horrific shows. Biggest fights we have. She watches Intervention. There's enough. You like that? Oh my God, it's so awesome. Watching a family completely fall apart. What is entertaining about that when they have that classic before picture? The pre-meth picture. She was so beautiful. She was the prom queen. Everybody loved her. Then they cut to her like laying in like a gutter. I'll suck your dick. I'll suck your dick. I'll suck your dick. No, we have these huge battles. You know what the maddest she ever got at me was? One time she was watching this show. It was like a poor excuse for The View. And they started talking about domestic violence, right? For the 9 millionth time this year, they're talking about domestic violence. Just in case, you didn't get the memo. You know? Evidently, you know, just some people didn't get it. It's not okay to slam your wife's head into the cupboard drawers because she didn't dry the can opener off properly. You know? It's gonna fucking rust, right? How do you not know not to do that shit? Do they really have to keep talking about it? It's like wife beaters watching. Oh, fuck! Ah! Now I get it. Upset daisy, sweetheart. Here we go. There you go. Oh. So at the end of the hour, they come to the logical conclusion. They're like, there is no reason to hit a woman. There is no reason to hit a woman. And I was just like, really? I could give you like 17 right off the top of my head. You could wake me from a drunken stupor, I could still give you like 9. Dude, there's plenty of reasons to hit a woman. You just don't do it. But to sit there and suggest that there's no reason. Dude, the level of ego behind that statement. What are you, levitating above the rest of us? You're never annoying? Women, how many times have you thought about slapping your fucking guy in the head this week? Every day. There you go. Every day. You didn't do it, right? Oh, dude, it drives me nuts. There's no reason. There's no reason. Really? No reason? How about this? You marry a girl, you fall in love, you buy her a house. You go to work every day, paying off the house. You come home one day, she's banging the next door neighbor, hands you divorce papers. You got to move out, sleep on a futon, and still pay for that house that she's going to stay in. No reason. I'm not saying you should do it, but there's plenty of fucking reasons in that arc of a story. All right, that was a hypothetical. You want an actual story? I'll give you one. All right, I fucked up my foot playing drums, trying to get my bass drum foot as fast as John Bonham's, because I figure that's a good thing to focus on. 43 years of age, never married, no kids. I figure this is going to lead me to the light, right? This is what I need to do. So I don't know what I did. I felt like after I played for like an hour, and afterwards I felt like literally like there was some midget stabbing me in the bottom of my foot, right? Like I had lightning coming out of the bottom of my foot. So I did the typical guy thing. I'm like, I'm not going to the hospital. I'll sleep it off. Be fine, right? Next morning I wake up, my foot's even worse. And I got to walk my crazy dog. So I'm like, I can't do it. My foot's killing me. So I wake up my girl, go, sweetheart, can you do me a favor? Can you walk the dog for me? Can you just take the shift? You know, I'll do your afternoon shift. Can you just do me this solid? Can you do this for me? And she's just like, oh, you know, I had a late night last night. I'm tired. I have a big day. And I just go, fuck it. She goes, what do you mean, fuck it? It's like, why can't you just say no? Why do you always gotta like waterboard me with like a 20-minute explanation that eventually winds its way around to go, fuck yourself? Just say no. So I'm just limping out of the room. Whatever, go back to bed. You got a big day, right? So now I'm like limping down the street. I got like Tourette's, fucking goddamn bullshit. Dog's walking next to me. I gotta admit, I got a little childish. I did. I got a little childish, you know? I was just thinking about my relationship. I'm like, this is the relationship I'm in? You're just gonna do whatever the hell you wanna do, right? And fuck me? Fine. I'm gonna do whatever the hell I wanna do. I feel like listening to my iPod on full blast, walking around the house. That's what I'm gonna do. So that's what I did. Turned it all the way up, and my whole plan was just to walk by her like I didn't even know her. That was it. She came down the hall, I just ghosted her. Just walked right past her. Just trying to piss her off. And I gotta tell you something, worked like a charm. Worked like a charm. Yeah, hung my coat up, turned around. By the time I turned around, she was already yelling at me. But the music was so loud, not only could I not hear her, it actually looked like she was singing the song that I was listening to. It's one of the highlights of the relationship. So I knew what she was saying. I was like, whatever, I don't want to talk about it. Leave me alone. I'm going on to the computer, right? So I limp over and I sit down, and unbeknownst to me, she's like, now, we're going to talk about this right now. Comes out, poof, and slaps the headphones off my head. I got big ears. It fucking hurt. So I'm like, honey, leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it. Put the headphones back on. She comes right back up again. Poof, slaps them off a little harder. This time they spin halfway around my head. Caveman DNA starts coming up. Talking through my teeth. Honey, leave me alone. Don't want to talk about it, right? Put them on third time. She comes up. Poof, slaps them right across the room, and I snap. I'm like, fine. You want to have the fight? Let's fucking have the fight. She's like, we will discuss this later when you calm down. Right there. I just wanted to roll her up on her yoga mat and stuff her behind the couch. Just leave her there until she got thirsty. Come on, let me out of here. I have a spin class. You've made your point. This is ridiculous. No, that's the thing. Really is. That's the thing. I hate that saying there's no reason. Obviously, I'm not saying to hit a woman, you know. But saying there's no reason, I think that's crazy. When you say there's no reason, that kills any sort of examination as to how two people ended up at that place. If you say there's no reason, whew, you cut out the build-up, you're just left with the act. How are you going to solve it if you don't figure it out? Look how awkward it is in here right now. I said you shouldn't hit a woman. I'm just saying, how come you can't ask questions? You can only ask questions about what the guy did. You can never ask about the woman. Why is that? Why is that? What is that? What does answer him right mean? What does that mean? Are you the idiot who got up halfway through the special during the bit and you're like walking around like I'm not fucking taping a special here? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Fucking had to ignore all of that and now you're gonna like yell out? And not only that, yell something that makes no fucking sense whatsoever? Answer him! Answer him! Every fucking special I do, there's always one. Always right down the fucking middle. Talking about hitting women, sweetheart. And I think you just added another reason. Jesus fucking Christ. You know this, I'm not even in a relationship with her, and she's fucking nagging me. It's fucking unbelievable.
Michelle Obama's doing an arena tour. That's another thing going on. I'm going to say that again. Michelle Obama is doing an arena tour. She's not playing comedy clubs. She's doing arenas. When did first ladies start acting like they got elected? You know? Dude, being a first lady, that's not a fucking job. Just standing there smiling and waving. Right? Look how quiet is it in here. Why is it so fucking quiet? You think that's a job? It's not a fucking job. Dude, if you really think it's a job, just look at it. Right? Look at Obama. When that guy got elected, he looked like he was about 41 years old. When he left office, that guy looked like he was about 73. Right? Look at Michelle. She looks younger now than she did when that dude got elected. What has she done for the last 8 years? Yeah, other than lay in a giant vat of Illuminati-level lotion, just sit there floating. A couple hours, a shapeshifter comes in and dumps another bucket on her. She pops her head up. Hey, Bam Bam, tell Stevie Wonder to come down and play some songs tonight. Now, I found out she's doing a tour because she's doing a book tour. Yeah, she wrote a book. She wrote a book about not having a job. I gotta read that fucking book. Chapter 1, how to know if a dick tastes presidential. How to weed your way through all that local representative cock and get to the big swinging dick in the room. I'll tell you right now, say what you want about Republican presidents, but they got their first ladies in line. They do. Dude, George W. was president for 8 years. 8 years. I don't even know his wife's name. What was it, Abigail or some shit? Maggie? No clue. Donald Trump's wife stands behind him like a giant meerkat, like... Bill Clinton was president, his wife never shut up. Ah, I want to do health care. Ah! He fucked around on her so much, he's like, all right, whatever, just do it. But I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna check out that fucking tour. I gotta see what that's all about. You know? Who opens? Who opens on that fucking tour? Was it Oprah Winfrey's husband? You know? Does he fucking come out and talk about what it's like to walk her dogs? I do it for 20 minutes a day. The Cocker Spaniel's probably the most fussiest, and I gotta bring him around.
Sean Connery died. The great Sean Connery. Yeah, my favorite James Bond of all time. Yeah, and he was getting a proper send-off for about 8 minutes on Twitter, and then the first hairy-legged white chick shows up, right? And she's just got to be like, yeah, yeah. Are we really going to celebrate this man who advocated the hitting of women? It's like, first of all, he didn't advocate hitting women, okay? He just said, every once in a while, you give him a little slap. Yeah, give him a little back of the hand. You remind him who's making the box office. You reset their hard drive. That's all he said, okay? Yes, it's a crazy statement in 2021. 1976, it's not good, but it's not crazy. Right? And he's born in 1930. You got to put the shit in historical perspective. You ever watch? I love old movies. You ever watch movies from the 30s, 40s, and 50s? Yeah. Anytime a woman even has heightened emotion, there's some guy like, get a hold of yourself, see? Yeah, go make me a pie. Put it on the windowsill. Right? That's what he grew up watching. I grew up in the 70s. I thought being a truck driver was a cool thing. You had a monkey for a friend. You're going around, chicks are showing their titties. I thought that was the world. I had no idea. That's what I was watching. My thing is okay, so if you're going to cancel all of these fucking dead guys, and you're going to shit all over them after they're dead and they can't defend themselves, why are you only going after men? What about all the horrible women in history? You can't just go after the men. That would be sexist. And this is what they don't want. What about Coco Chanel? Great example. Coco Chanel, widely considered a feminist icon. She started her own purse factory, right? The 19-teens or 20s, whatever the hell she did. I can't imagine the sexism that she had to deal with, An amazing accomplishment. Hats off to her, right? However, she was also a Nazi sympathizer. Yeah, that's like half her fucking Wikipedia page. Just sitting there, waiting for someone to read it. Right out in the open, nothing. So evidently what happened was, in World War II, old Adolf came rolling into town, okay, with his tanks with the Porsche engines in them, took over the town in like fucking 90 minutes. She freaked out. She closes up her shop, right? Figured out where all the head Nazis were staying, what hotel. She moved in there, and she started a relationship with one of the Nazis. Yeah, she started fucking a Nazi. You ever see those Holocaust videos? Huh, with those piles of kid shoes? Yeah, she was sucking the dick that did that. Now, just to refresh my memory, what did Sean Connery do again? Oh, every once in a while you give him a little slap. That's what he did. She's sitting there like, hey, Adolf, what's going on? She so sold out her own country, she had to flee it at the end of the war. And I have no idea how many dicks she had to suck to get back in it. But I'll tell you, despite all of that, I still don't judge her. I don't. Because I've never been in that situation. I've never been in a country where all of a sudden the most powerful army the world has ever seen comes in and takes it over in a couple hours. She must have been terrified, right? And she's a woman. She's into fashion. They show up with those Hugo Boss uniforms. Her knees buckle a little bit. Things start getting ugly. People are getting shot in the street. She's freaking out, And she's a woman. And women know, push comes to shove. When you get your back against the wall, no matter how bad it gets, they always have the option of fucking their way out of a situation. They always got that card they can play, right? All women know this. All women know this. Men don't realize this till they go to prison. But women learn this early on. She had the option, and she took it. I can't get mad at her for that, you know? So she's dead and gone. I think she's up there in heaven. I think she made it. She's up there with Sean Connery. Every once in a while, they have a disagreement. He gives a little slap, you know? She doesn't care. Once you shit on a Nazi's chest, I mean, a little backhand's not going to freak you out. Jesus can't say anything. He got a hooker, right? Everybody's got a little something they did. Well, there you go. So, still buy your Coco Chanel. She's still a hero. She was a victim. She was a victim of that time. She was frightened. She was scared. She didn't know what to do. Anyway.
I don't know. But anyways, you know what I'm afraid of? You know what I'm afraid of? Robots. Yeah. I saw one get interviewed on 60 Minutes, the top journalistic program in the United States. And he's just sitting there getting interviewed, not nervous at all, just rattling off all the fucking answers, you know? Not smoking, not fucking, you know, leaking oil, whatever you would do as a nervous robot, right? And the reporter's asking him questions, and in the end he goes, so tell us, he's like, what are your goals? And I am alone in a hotel room, and I literally lean towards the TV. I'm like, these fucking things have goals? And the fucking robot just answers. He just goes, he goes, well, what are your goals? And the robot goes, to become smarter than human beings. Yeah. And the reporter just blows by it. He's like, okay, and what's your favorite color? Meanwhile, I'm standing on my bed yelling at the TV like, dude, unplug that fucking thing! Take the batteries out! Pull the wires out! Do something! How many sci-fi movies do you have to see before you realize where this is going? So anyways, every smart person, every super smart person in the world is saying these fucking things are gonna kill us. Even your boy here, the guy he recently died. What was his name? He was always sitting down. Hawkins, Stephen Hawkins, yeah. Too good to fucking stand up and make his point, just sitting down all fucking smarmy. Oh, I care so much. I poured ice on myself. And I showed off my abs at the same time for the gram. No, I'm just fucking with you. I'm so glad that guy's fucking dead, though. You know? Look at you guys. You're hard. How much longer do you want him to suffer? You don't believe in an afterlife? Maybe he's up there now. His fucking legs work. He's getting an angelic blowjob. How much longer do you want him to fucking sit there so you can feel better about yourself? Well, at least I'm not all fucking twisted up saying smart shit, right? I couldn't fucking stand that guy. He was so fucking negative. He never had anything positive to say. Hey, Steve, what do you got for us today? In 2035, there'll be no more apples. Thank you, Steve. Thanks a lot. Wasn't thinking about that. Now I am. Hey, so what's the solution? It's too late. We needed to try 40 years ago. Thanks a lot, buddy. I'm going to go cry with my child now. Dude, I could hang out with that guy for about 3 minutes before I took the brake off his chair and just swung him into the other room. Hey, Steve, come back in when you got something dumb and positive to say.